Today, I am taking it back to basics when it comes to staff education and training. So if you're in the position where you're going to either administer some sort of training session soon, or you're thinking about it, maybe you're in the content development process, I have two questions that I want you to ask every single time that you're considering administering some sort of staff education or training. First question, and by the way, these are gonna seem so obvious, but they're that important and they're worth saying. Okay, so first question, who is the target audience? And again, this is very obvious when you think about it retrospectively, but it's so important that you really think about who is your audience, who are you teaching to? Because what you might share with frontline staff is going to be totally different, probably, than what you would explain to your executive suite. Same topic, but there's different layers of context. Maybe your jargon's gonna be different. Maybe you need to provide more information about the acronyms or the language you're using, some background information. It's going to be different depending on your target audience. You have to meet them where they're at. Second question, what are you trying to achieve with this training? What do you want them to do? Sometimes knowledge transfer is totally fine. We talk about this all the time at Legacy FM with our own content development team. Sometimes all we're doing is just transferring knowledge from case studies, from books, from engineers, architects, plant operators. We're just gathering information and transferring that knowledge to our target audience. And the point might just be for awareness. And then there's times when we actually want them to do something and we ask ourselves, what is the outcome and how will we know that the training was successful, that they can do what we taught them to do? And that might be like a maintenance activity or some sort of repair. Maybe they can perform a process. What are they gonna do with this information? And we have to ask ourselves these two questions throughout the entire content development process, at the beginning when we're casting that vision, and then as we are creating content, because it is so easy, you guys, to go down rabbit holes. Like, okay, I'm gonna start talking about X, maybe I also need to talk about Y, and if I talk about Y, then I need to provide some context, and then if I explain this, then I've gotta explain that, and before you know it, you've gone way outside the scope of the original intent. But if you always go back to those two questions, who is the target audience, and what do we want them to do with this information, then you'll be golden. All right, so if you have any other staff education and training tips, please share them. I know our networks will appreciate having that information. And if you're in that process now, let me know how it's going. Thanks, y'all.